So we both bonded over that, and now we're together.
What good for you.
Thank you.
I think it's hard to I think it's a tightrope to date. As a comic, especially in the scene, it becomes a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever so when it comes to dating, has that affected your comedy stuff before Teddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say there was one relationship I was in with a comic that was just very like negative and toxic for like my well-being, because like he would get mad if I like got booked. I'd say that was the only time that it like negatively affected me. But in my experience with other comics, whether it's like a relationship like I have with Teddy or like just like casual things, I feel like it almost like enhances it, because it's like we're writing together, we're encouraging each other, that kind of thing. So I think it's overall pretty fun.
That's awesome. How old are you?
23.
Oh, I'm an old man. Okay.
No,
okay.
you're not. You're like 27.
33.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 33 going on 34.
That's definitely not old. That's like pretty young.
It's not old. You're right. It is not old. But when I meet someone in their early 20s, it is I am now picturing myself when I'm 23.
Oh, yeah.
If that makes sense, because
I've started having that because because some of my friends, I started comedy when I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like the youngest one. And now like some of my friends who are just starting are like 19 or 20. And I'm like, I remember when I was 19 and just started. That's so weird.
Where did you start? Where are you from?
So I'm from Wheaton, which is a suburb of Chicago.
That's right. Okay.
And I started, the first place I did stand up was the Comedy Shrine in Aurora. So I would go to that mic weekly, and that's how I started.
Is that still there?
No, it closed. I want to say it was right after my sophomore year of college. So like 3 years ago.
I'm guessing pandemic related.
Kind of. They like had a smaller location during the pandemic. They then moved to a bigger location that was inside of a mall.
Uh-huh.
And they could not, like, they just didn't work out because of the rent. It was a much bigger space. And then sadly it's gone.
So, okay. So you started I would say you started pretty young. What were you growing up? What were you like as a kid, I guess?
I was very like always a theater kid. I always knew that I wanted to do performance stuff. Like I really wanted to be like a singer and an actress. Like I went to school for theater, like that kind of thing. And then when I was in high school, I did like speech team, and that's how I discovered comedy, because I did like the comedy event for it. And then
Was it a comedy event for speech?
Yeah, so it's very weird. So I think it's only an event in Illinois, but it's called Original Comedy, and it's basically where you prepare an 8-minute sketch and you play every single character by yourself. And the way you like differentiate is like doing different positions, doing different voices. It's very silly. But then I did that, and then senior year of high school, COVID happened, and I was like, I have to do stand-up after this. Like, I miss comedy so much. Like, I need to do something. And then I decided.
How old were you when COVID happened?
So it happened, 2020 was my senior year of high school, so I was 18.
Oh my God. Can I hear, okay. That's another thing. I have this belief system that, that comedian classes come in eras. Mm-hmm. I would describe my era as the Trump era.
Oh, okay.
Of like in 2016, a little before that I started getting serious around 2016, and that was the era of Trump. Mm-hmm. And I mean, now I guess we're gonna re-up on
Part
that.
2.
Yeah, but I think you are like the era of COVID.
Yeah, there's definitely like a lot of COVID comics that are my age that I know. Like it's like, I'd say like my class is probably like me, AJ Leidig. He started like 2 months after me, also at the Shrine. Like Lucy Ferrante. I don't know. Kyron, I think, started pre-pandemic, but Kyron just like hangs out with us a lot.
Kyron's magical. He's everywhere.
Love Kyron. Love him to death. I was the one who told him he had gout. I literally told him he had gout. He came to my apartment because we were filming a sketch, and he texted me the day before, and he was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. My foot really hurts. And like we had to film another podcast after that too. So we were filming like 2 things that day. I was like, okay, no worries. Like just let me know if like you can't come. I'll have Teddy play your part. And he comes to my house and he's like limping. AJ is like borderline carrying him up my stairs. And he's like, I got hives last night and my foot is swollen. I was like, you have gout. And he was like, no, I don't. It's an injury. And then he had gout. And now I make fun of him so much for it simply because I was correct. Like, yes. Simply because of that.
As you should. What is gout?
I don't know.
Wait, how did you know he had gout?
Jewish mother instinct. I don't know. Like, okay, so I know it's like something with malnutrition, and it's like only old people get it. But I know Kyron, and I don't think I've ever seen him eat anything. I've seen him maybe eat 2 things in the time I've known him. So I think it comes from malnutrition, and I know that a big symptom is like your foot gets fucked up. That's all I know about it.
Interesting. I only know of it from an episode of King of the Hill where Bobby got gout.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, okay, so you're growing up, you're in theater, your family's like, yeah, keep doing theater, or are they like, don't do that shit?
Honestly, they would always be like, have a backup plan. And I would always be like, no, like because I was also like, I don't know what it would be because I have no other skills. Like, this is like, I'm not good at math. Like, I'm good at writing and like performing, and that's literally it. And then when I started doing stand up and I started getting paid for stand up, they were like, all right, I guess you're fine. Like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. When did you start getting paid?
I did get paid for the first show I did, which was like 2 months after I started, but it was like I was not great, but I got like $50 from it, and I was like, let's go, I got $50.
Yeah.
But I would say I didn't start getting like really consistent like money, and when I say consistent money, it's not like I'm not getting paid like I can't make rent with stand-up, but it helps like cover a lot of bills and stuff. I'd say that probably started happening like last year.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I am always, and I said this to Sam Rossi as well, I'm always excited and proud of younger people in general, but young comics who are taking it seriously in their youth. Because you'll see, I'm sure you've seen, have you ever seen the type of guy or type of comic who's a little older and they started older and there's a jaded angriness about them?
It's that jaded angriness, and then there's also this type of, it's not even a type of comic, it's a type of person where they think that not caring is cool. That pisses me off, and that's why I'm glad I have like the friends that I do, because we're all like goofy and we'll all like hang out and like fuck around, but we all like deeply care about stand-up and we all take it seriously, but we all like really like it. And it's like that's like the sweet spot of like, I don't want anyone who takes themselves too seriously, but it's like when you have a common passion and care about this thing, it's so like, don't hide that you care about it, like express that. It's so nice.
I'm 100% behind you. This like aloof, nothing matters, fucking I love Rick and Morty, but kind of, you know what I mean, like that type of guy. It's not, I don't know, it's annoying. It's annoying, and it's like I don't want to be around, and I don't want to be around a person with no motivation.
Yeah, it's like they think they're too cool for the thing they're choosing to do, and it's like, then don't do it. Like, it's so weird.
So you brought this up. I saw you. Did I see you perform last night? Were you at Lincoln Lodge?
I was at Lincoln Lodge. I saw. Wait, where did I see? Yes, we were at Lincoln Lodge.
Okay, Okay, this is going to be fascinating for me. I'm very excited for this. You made a joke about being Jewish.
Yes.
And everyone in the room started laughing.
Yes.
I don't understand, and I still don't understand, and I would love to understand, because it seemed like everyone was on the same page. They're like, well, clearly she is Jewish.
That's like the weird thing. Wait, are you asking more so about how everyone can tell I'm Jewish immediately?
That I don't get it.
It confuses me too, because how familiar are you with Wheaton, Illinois? Like vibes wise?
Not familiar at all.
Okay, so Wheaton is known as being the most like Christian conservative suburb like in Illinois, if not like America. Like, it has Wheaton College, which is like the most Christian place ever, and they make you sign a morality contract when you go there, meaning you can't have sex for the entire time you're at school, you can't drink the entire time there, you can't smoke weed the entire time there.
Did you go there?
No. I interned there in high school for 1 year, but I did not go there. Okay. So everyone in Wheaton could tell I was Jewish because there's like 3 of us. And it was just like, when you see like a loud woman that like is kind of Italian but could be something else, that's a Jew. I don't know. And like everyone will clock that. Then I went to Oberlin, which is like, there's a bunch of Jewish people there. Much bigger presence. No one could tell I was Jewish. Now in Chicago, it's like 50-50. Like, some people are very not used to Jewish people, so I like stick out like a sore thumb. And then some people have grown up with Jewish people all their lives, and then they're just like, oh, like I can't tell. Okay, I'm gonna give you a quick TLDR of my knowledge and where I've gotten it from so far. Gotcha. And then you educate me, please. To me, from my vantage point, people just white. I don't know. I don't see a difference. But I was talking to who seems to be the king of the Jews, Adam Quaslow. Yes. And it was Christmas Eve. No, Christmas. It was Christmas or Christmas Eve. I went to a Chinese restaurant with Adam Quaslow,
Jen Flaxman, goddamn Tim Brennan, and oh my fucking god, Strong,
Derek Strong.
Derek Strong.
Yes,
and they're breaking down Judaism to me. Apparently, in terms of features, it's long, pointed down nose, curly-ish hair. I don't want to say darker skin, but darker.
Depends on. There's like Ashkenazi Jews and Sephardic Jews. Depends on which one you are. If you're Sephardic, you're going to be a little darker. But yeah.
Okay, and then Adam Quaslow broke down the history of Jewish people in America and why they're perceived as running everything, which is essentially that they took jobs. Jewish people took jobs that were seen as uncouth at the time. Built up from the banking and film specifically, built up from like the early 1900s, and here we are. That's what he explained. Is that accurate?
That's pretty accurate. I think the reason that's accurate as to terms of what most Jewish people look like and how that is kind of like where that stereotype of like they run the media, like that kind of thing comes from. But yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Do you feel connected to your culture?
It kind of depends because, okay, so growing up, my mom was Jewish, my dad was Catholic. And then the Jewish religion, you are Jewish if your mother's Jewish. And then I'm like 50% Ashkenazi, like blood. So like bloodline, definitely Jewish. I was never bat mitzvahed, but we went to we went to Hebrew school a little bit. We would we would have Passover with our friends, like with the other Jewish people in Wheaton. We would have Hanukkah occasionally. But like, so I grew up kind of into Jewish culture, but not super into Jewish culture because of like where I lived and then like what like my dad being Catholic. But now as an adult, like, you know Quinn James?
I know that name. I gotta look this person up.
Okay, they're my roommate and they're also Jewish. But like we've been making like an active effort to try and like be more Jewish as roommates, which I kind of love because they also had a similar experience. They were not B'nai Mitzvah.
Oh.
Yes, you know
okay,
Quinn.
Okay, I do.
But they were not B'nai Mitzvah. B'nai Mitzvah is a non-binary bar mitzvah, which I found out from them. I kind of love it.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm gonna learn. Okay.
It's fun. B'nai Mitzvah.
There's bar mitzvah. That's male.
That's male.
Bat mitzvah is
girls,
female.
Yeah. And then B'nai Mitzvah is non-binary.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, so we've been we celebrated Hanukkah together. I got us a menorah. Like that kind of thing. So we've been making an active effort to tap more into the culture. We have talked about getting a joint B'nai Mitzvah.
Okay.
Like as adults and like doing it like where we would not learn Hebrew. We would read the phonetics because Hebrew is so difficult to learn. But I feel like connected to my culture in the sense that like whenever I'm with my mom's side of the family, I'm like, oh, like this feels cool. Like I love this. And then sometimes I'm like, it is very isolating being like kind of in the middle of it. But yeah, I'd say for the most part, I strongly identify like with the Jewish like culture and stuff like that.
Now so where, I guess, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Okay, consistent listeners, I'm sorry I'm going down this rabbit hole, but you know me. You know when you do a podcast and you say the same type of shit over and over. I can only relate to it from my own lens, which is black culture. And there is, I grew up around a bunch of white people, and so there was like this yearning for like, I need to be around black people. I can't fucking do this anymore because the culture and the behavior and the history and all that stuff it's just not fun to be around. Is that what is drawing you towards wanting to learn more about your culture, or why are you and Quinn like interested in that? What's going on there?
I think it's a little bit of that. I'd say it's also just like, I personally find a lot of like Jewish culture that I've learned about like very interesting. Like every time we do have Passover, like I like listening to the stories, and then also kind of like learning more, like because I had like a bunch of family on my mom's side who died in the Holocaust. I had like a great grandfather who was like hidden in an attic by like Catholics. And so it's like that kind of thing. I'm like, I want to respect that part of my family. Like I want to understand, like I want to like continue their traditions. Like if I ever have children, like I want to have that knowledge to kind of respect where they came from as well. So I think for me personally, it's like connecting to this family that I unfortunately did not get to meet because they died. And also just like understanding like how to keep those values alive. Like a specific Jewish value I always like really think about is like my great grandfather would always say this to my mom growing up, where it's like, like the Nazis took everything from us. The only thing we have is our education and like our brains. And so I think by learning more and more about Jewish culture, or like making an effort to, I think that would be like, I would like to do that to respect my family. And I think Quinn we were talking about it recently, and they have the same kind of perspective as well. But yeah.
Now, by the time this comes out, this will be old news, and who knows what else will happen in this new regime we live in called America. But Elon Musk's little salute, all that. How are you, and I guess adding Quinn, how are you guys feeling about what's going on right now?
Oh, I'm terrified. Like
Yeah.
I think also because when Trump first got elected, it was 2016. I was in high school. I knew it was bad. I just didn't quite grasp how bad it was. And this time around, it does feel a lot worse, just because I remember in 2016, he implemented the Muslim ban immediately. And that was like the big thing that everyone was like, oh my God, that's bad. Now he's done like 6 of those. Yeah. And it's just like insane. And it's like, because I feel like a lot of people don't quite grasp that this is how a lot of big, like, not like, I don't like comparing Trump to Hitler. I don't love that, but it is like, this is how that started.
1-to-1. It's so similar.
It's getting too similar, and it's so bad. And like with the Elon Musk Nazi salute, I think what frustrates me is the argument of like, it's a Roman salute. The reason that the Heil is what it is it came from the Roman salute. It used to just be a salute. It's like how the swastika used to be a Buddhist symbol of peace, and then they turned it and made it something else. So it's like, yes, at one point this was a Roman salute. Not anymore. Like this is a Nazi salute, and you would be like arrested in Germany if you did this.
Right.
So I think it's like the frustration of like people not quite grasping like, yeah, this is at one point what this was. It's not that anymore. Keep up, you know?
Do you think, okay, that's interesting, because you're kind of giving people the benefit of the doubt by saying they're not grasping it, because I think they are being willfully obtuse.
They're not willing to grasp it, I think, is more what I mean.
It's a fair way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hear you on the compare. It's becoming hacky to compare them, but it is so impossible to ignore it sounds like you're interested in history, specifically Jewish history, so I'm sure you know, like beat for beat, this is how the Nazi regime became what it became, and we are just goose stepping towards that again.
Yeah.
Do you, in terms of, and we'll get back to comedy and other lighter stuff, don't worry, but in terms of what's going on and what the future holds, where's your head at? Like, yeah.
I don't, like, the thing is it's like, I'm very understanding of the fact that I'm 23. I don't know a lot, but like based off of what I do know, based off of what I'm seeing from this, it's scary because like my dad is a Trump supporter. I know.
Okay, we're gonna ask him to write some stuff down.
No, I know. And it's like seeing the way that this regime has affected my father and other Republicans who used to be like, because it used to be normal Republicans. I don't agree with Republicans. I'm very much on the left. However, it wasn't this bad.
Yeah, the Republicans of the 90s were very, not reasonable, but they were reasonable.
A little bit more reasonable than this.
Yeah.
And I think just seeing how polarizing it has become, and like, I don't get, like, the thing I don't get is like, why people can't like, so many people on the right are not willing to like examine themselves and realize like, it's okay that I was wrong. I can admit that this thing was wrong that I believed, and now I'm going to reform and figure this out. I feel like there's a lot of Trump supporters that have their tail between their legs, because my dad has that, because I literally was talking to him and he finally was like, why do you hate Trump? And I was like, he sexually assaulted 26 women, like before everything else he did. Like this was before he finally got like
your reason why you don't like
it. That was my reason prior, and like aside from all the other stuff. And he finally just went, yeah, and he didn't even argue with me. And I'm like, I can tell you're embarrassed with your choices. Like, it's okay to admit you were wrong.
Yeah.
So I think if people in America can't look at themselves and be like, I'm allowed to be wrong about something, now I fix it. I feel like this is just going to get way worse.
Roughly how old do you think, is your dad going to listen to this?
No.
Oh, okay. Has he ever explained his logic as to why he likes Trump?
Like, it comes down to the economy thing. It always does.
Gotcha.
Like, because I've brought up, I'm like, has Elon, like he has so many people on his board that don't make sense. Like this is bad. Like objectively what he's doing with revoking the Civil Rights Act, like cutting all DEI employees, like this, and sending ICE into schools. Like this is, I don't care if you like economics, like this is bad. And it's also not good for the economy regardless. So it comes down to that, but I'll explain things with the economy. Like, okay, do you know Victoria Flynn?
Yes.
She no, you're totally good. She also runs Out by 10 with me. She's runs it with Quinn and I. But her boyfriend is his name's Willie, and he was in the military, and he was explaining to me how a lot of yes. He was explaining to me how a lot of Republicans think that Trump is great for the military because he says he's great for the military because he pays the military. All of the military spending that they gave, or all of the spending, or all the extra money Trump gave to the military went towards 2 engines for a jet that they used once on a reconnaissance mission in Iraq. And they didn't need the backup engine that they spent the money on. So it's like when Trump says, I am saving this country by giving more money to the military, it's not a single member of the military seeing that other than that jet. So it's like, it's not actually benefiting the military. He's telling you it is. And it kind of is like, people aren't willing to do the research into seeing like, well, where is this money going? Like, and so Trump keeps it so surface level, but talks with such conviction that I think so many people just believe him at his word because they trust him so much for some fucking reason.
Interesting.
And I think a lot of that is why my dad is a Trump supporter, is because like when I explained that to him, I told him that, and he was like, I've never heard that argument before. And I was like, you didn't seek it out. Like you have to be willing to seek out this information.
Okay. Well,
sorry, that was such a long political ramble.
You're good. No, you're good. I see no flaw. I have theories as to why. I have theories as to why these people continue to be these people. And I've given up on even explaining them anymore. I'm now at the place of, how to put this? Okay. After the election, did you see the exit polls?
I did not, no.
Okay, so the exit polls, I'm going to bring them up right now. The exit polls were just a breakdown of the general demographics that voted for Trump. Exit polls of 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it. Exit polls of 2024. I saw these exit polls. Here they are. Here they are. And I don't know if, can you read that?
Like a little bit. It's just like a little.
It's super blurry.
Oh, yeah.
So I read those. I was very disappointed with the Latino community.
I looked at that and I was like, what the fuck happened?
What are you guys doing?
What happened?
I saw those exit polls and I was like, oh, okay, I get what it is. America, like this wasn't, he didn't steal this, he didn't cheat. He's, I don't know if lying is considered cheating. That seems to be a political thing in general.
Yeah.
But he did not literally steal the election. Like people voted for him and people are going to get what they voted for. And now I'm in a place, I'm not arguing with nobody. I'm not trying to explain nothing to nobody. I'm getting guns and I don't know if you see this here. I'm learning how to garden indoors. I got a bug out bag. I'm still doing my martial arts shit. Like I believe, and knock on wood, I really hope this doesn't happen. Nothing would make me happier than be wrong. But I believe shit is going to get Germany in the 40s-esque. And we're either going to have to leave, hunker down, or fight. And that's my belief system. And then as for my theory as to why, I think, I don't know. I don't know if you want to hear it or not.
I do. You listen to me talk about it, so yeah.
I think that whiteness trumps all. I think that the for whatever reason, the goal of being pure and white is the most important thing. I think when it comes to your dad, I don't know this guy. I don't think it's about the economy. I think he's lying to himself. And I think he's worried that he's going to get replaced by the whoever. You can name a million things. Or it's something is different. Anything that's different, they can't handle. So I think that whiteness trumps all, and that at the end of the day, that's all that matters to people. That's including the coon black people that also voted for Trump. They are also trying to achieve a level of whiteness, but that's a whole other discussion. So that's my belief system.
Yeah, I get that because like I do think that is a big part of that because I remember growing up in Wheaton, like people would call it like Whiten because it is incredibly white, and then I remember there were so many people who would just like say shit, and then I'd be like, "What do you mean by that?" And then they would stop talking. Yeah. So that is definitely, I think that is a big underlying issue.
Yes, we're gonna take
lying issue.
Yeah, we're gonna take a big pivot. Just heads up, this is gonna go completely.
We're going from Holocaust to like
to something
something cool,
different. Horror movies.
Oh yes,
you're a big horror fan.
I am. I love horror movies.
Okay, now to me, there's different types. What are your like top 5 favorite horror movies?
So okay, I'm gonna open this up to not just horror movies because I've been getting into more like unique genres of horror. I'd say like I love. Have you ever heard of like ARGs online?
No, what's that?
They're called alternate reality games, and it's basically it's a lot of it's on YouTube or Twitter sometimes, or X or whatever the fuck it's called. But on YouTube, there's people who will post like these videos that are very cryptic. They don't really make sense upon first watch, but you kind of have to piece it together, put together clues with other videos that they post, and then it unravels this really cool story. That I've been really into lately. I just applied for a job as like a script writer for a YouTuber who like talks about those, but those are my favorite things to listen to. Like Mandela Catalog is a great one. Super spooky. Monument Mythos is a great one too. It's this one where it's about like, there's like alternate dimensions and they like the monuments, like the Lincoln Monument, like the Washington Memorial, they're all monsters that need to be fed, but it's like, it's so good and it's so well edited and it's so scary. So I love that kind of thing. As for like straight up horror movies, okay, my favorite movie of all time is Coraline. So like children's horror movie, but that's my favorite. And then I love classic The Ring. I love The Ring. I love Hereditary. I rewatched it the other day. As Above, So Below, I think is my all-time favorite though. That one's really fun.
What is it about? What is that? I don't know that. As Above, what is it?
So it's a horror movie from 2014. It's like a found footage. It's kind of like, it's earlier found footage a little bit, but it's really interesting. It's very well written. It's basically this this one like lady who's like a historian is looking for the Philosopher's Stone because her father had been spending his whole life going to find it. So she travels to France to go through the catacombs, and I won't spoil it, but like As Above, So Below is what is like, it's a big theme of it, and it's like kind of about like hell and like escaping hell. It's really good.
Interesting.
I think it's still on Netflix. If not, it's on YouTube for sure.
Okay, so you're not like a gore fest.
I don't
Saw
love gore.
17 or whatever.
No, I've never seen any of the Saw movies. I'm not super into gore/body horror, although I did watch The Substance.
I keep hearing things. How is that?
I loved it. I've seen it twice. I think, I find that women versus men have very different experiences watching it.
Interesting.
Because it's very much like, it's so in your face about like the message in like a camp way, like not in like a shitty way. Like it's very obvious the message is trying to get across, which is basically like society like hates women and wants them to change their bodies and everything about them. And you can't get old if you're a woman, that kind of thing. And it's very in your face, and it's like so campy the way it does its horror. And I remember the first time I saw it, I was super high. I saw it by myself in Cincinnati. And I was like, this is a masterpiece. This is the best thing I've ever seen. I love this. And there was like 2 other people in the theater. And then I took Teddy to see it the next day, and he thought it was more funny than poignant, which I don't blame him for, because it is very funny as well. But it's just interesting seeing how different people view it based off of their own personal experiences.
I will watch The Substance, and I will give you a review as a man.
Please, I'm so curious.
Yeah.
I want to see if my theory is correct with like people other than like Teddy and the other few people that have watched it.
Yeah. Do you feel like being, I mean, I would assume so, being a woman or coming from a female perspective affects your comedy and your art?
I think so, because I feel like as a woman, I'm very like, I come off more bro-y, I'd say. Like, I feel like I'm pretty like I'm pretty chill girl vibes, I guess. I don't know if that made sense, but like, I think a lot of the ways I think about things I write about kind of are affected by the fact that I'm a woman. Like, I talk a lot of my personal experiences too, like dating experiences, that kind of thing. it's from my lens, and then it's weird going to open mics where it's mostly men, because then I'm like, okay, well, how do I make this for everyone? Like, how do I make this for everybody here?
I have some pushback.
Okay.
I don't think it needs to be for everyone.
I don't think it needs to be, but I like it to be kind of, I keep the like female perspective in, and then I'll add a second angle that's like, here you go, like that kind of thing.
Making something generally not palatable for a bunch of sweaty open mic guys in a bar. I hear you. Do you feel, this is so funny, every time I do this podcast with a female comedian, I hear a very different perspective about things like open mics and whatnot. Like in terms of being surrounded by just a bunch of fucking dudes. I know you describe yourself as bro-y. Do you feel more comfortable around like just groups of guys than you do groups of women?
I don't think that I feel more comfortable around either. I think I feel comfortable in both. Like I'd say in comedy, I definitely have more male friends, just because there's objectively more men in comedy. But I think I'm comfortable around like anyone. Like I don't think gender really puts it off for me, because I do know some people who are just like, I hate being around men. I'm like, I don't mind it. Like it's fine. Like I'll deal with it. Like if they're a douchebag man, then I won't be around them. But
right. I hear you. That's funny. And then you also said gluten.
Gluten-free foods.
What is okay? So for some context for people, because I wrote this down, I asked what you're interested in outside of comedy. Gluten?
I don't know. Like I'm allergic to gluten. And last night, I don't know if you've met Hannah Beck yet, but she's like a newer comic. Super sweet, but she just got diagnosed with celiac.
What is celiac?
It's basically where your body cannot physically digest gluten. And you have like a major reaction. So she got diagnosed with that and was like, I need help finding gluten-free foods. And then I talked to her at the Lincoln Lodge for I think 20 minutes about gluten-free foods. And then this morning, that's her. She's super cool. But then this morning when you texted me that, I was like, I guess gluten-free food. I'm very passionate about that. I know too much about it.
So she actually should not be eating gluten.
Yeah, like mine's more like a mild allergy. But yeah, she like people with celiac, it's like very, very serious.
It feels like all of a sudden gluten was it feels like the people with celiac were doing their non-gluten shit, and then suddenly someone found it and then was like, everybody don't eat gluten.
Well, it is like, so a lot of scientists, it's the same thing with dairy. A lot of people's bodies, like 70% of the American population, their bodies don't produce enough of the enzyme that breaks down gluten and dairy. And so when people go off gluten who don't automatically have celiac, but maybe just like have tummy aches, like if the instant they go off gluten, you get more energy because your body takes so much brain power and physical power to digest the gluten that when you stop eating it, you have that much more energy. So it's like, I remember when I stopped eating gluten sophomore year of high school. And I remember that week I was the most awake I've ever been in my entire life. Like it was awesome.
Okay.
But yeah, so a lot of people technically should be gluten-free, but it's like not, you don't have to be. Like you won't die, but it just helps.
And this person, Hannah Beck, is new to comedy or new to the Chicago scene?
I think to the Chicago scene. I'm pretty sure she did it somewhere else before. But yeah, she's super funny. I see her a bunch at the Lodge is mostly where I see her. Okay. She was there last night. She went like 14th, I think.
I was very much gone.
Gotcha. Okay, very fair.
Hannah Beck. Okay, duly noted. I'll try to look out for that. Yeah, I'm a vegetarian, so I get the. Yeah.
Have you ever been to the Chicago Diner?
That's the one in Boys Town?
Yeah.
I have. I got a milkshake there.
Oh,
it was delicious.
It's very good. I work there.
Oh, really? Oh, that's right. Right. What, isn't it like it's a famous diner, right?
It's pretty famous. It's it's almost entirely vegan. They do offer like dairy, cheese, and eggs for breakfast, but other than that, it's vegan. But it's been around since 1983. It's pretty popular, yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. And that's not your first job you've worked?
No, I've had so many jobs.
Yeah. Do you remember your first job?
Yes, I remember my first formal job. I worked at Express. And it was
like FedEx?
No, Express is like the clothing store.
Oh.
But I first worked at like a teeny tiny little location they had in Town Square in Wheaton, and then they closed, and then I moved to the outlet location, and it was awful. I hated working at an outlet, so that was my first job.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, how old were you?
I was 17.
Okay. Okay, that's not too. Yeah. Okay, making your money.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? I don't know that. That first time you get your first check.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
It
the
was
best
awesome.
feeling ever. That's the best feeling ever. And then the reason you're here, you were shouted out by Dana Norris and Sam Rossi. What's your relationship with them?
So Dana, I've known for a while because when I was doing comedy more in the suburbs, I knew her, and she also lives in Wheaton, which is my hometown. So we'd hang out sometimes there, and we both bonded because we both did like theater and stuff too. And then Sam, I got to know a little bit, probably like a year and a half ago, I'd say, but he's like one of my close friends now. Me, Tommy Cook, and Michael Serio all threw him his 21st birthday party. So that was really fun because I got to like help plan my friend's birthday party.
That's awesome. Was it a surprise or?
No, he knew it was happening.
Okay.
But we went to replay, and then it was like the most fun ever. But yeah, like Sam, I feel like is kind of like, we always say this because he's like 2 years younger than me. We forget that we're not like the same age because he's very like smart and mature for a 21-year-old. I say that as if like I'm not 2 years older than that. But.
As a 33-year-old, I agree. Mm-hmm. And talking to him, he was very, I don't want to say wise beyond his years, but poised, and he knows exactly what he wants. And I don't get the sense he's in a searching space at all.
He's very like, he's got like, my parents always say this about people, but he's got a good head on his shoulders, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He did. Oh my God, this was so fun. He told me that he had Sopranos Monopoly, and I had never seen The Sopranos, so we had Sopranos Monopoly night at my apartment, and we watched The Sopranos, and it was so fun. I lost immediately.
Yeah.
But it was very fun.
Yeah, I haven't played Monopoly.
I love Monopoly.
Really?
I love Monopoly. I love a good game. I just love games.
You like a board game person or video game? Just games in general?
Not super big into video games. I used to be. I love Minecraft. Like, if anyone ever asks me to play Minecraft, I will play Minecraft.
Okay, get ready. I'm sound old. I know about the Minecrafts now. Okay, so here's what I learned about it. You are in this world. Mm-hmm. You build things, and you make anything, but it's out of very simple shapes essentially. Mm-hmm. And then at night, zombies attack you. Yes,
there's also skeletons. There's a lot of little creatures.
What is the appeal of Minecraft?
I think it's just like it's a very peaceful game. Like I think it's a very good way to like kind of just calm down, unless you're like really trying to like kill the monsters. That's not as calm, but I think it's just something about like, look what I can create. Oh, I can go dig in a hole and then I find things. Like, you get to find things, you get to build things, you get to fight things. Like, it's kind of like every cool aspect of a video game, and there's very peaceful music playing.
Interesting. That's very interesting. Man, I don't know. The older you get, because I immediately like, oh, Legos. There you go. And it's like, no, it's probably a little different.
It's a little bit more complex, but I do like Legos. Legos are fun.
Are you a big builder? I don't know. What is it? There's your two sides of your brain.
Oh, left and right. Right is like creative, and left is like it's like academic. I think.
I assume you're more not academic, but creative.
Yeah, I'm whatever the creative side is, that's me. I would say I'm definitely not great at academics. My little brother is really good at academics, and then I do like all the creative social stuff, and then it's very fun.
Yeah, how many siblings do you have?
I just have my younger brother.
Younger brother. Are your parents still?
No, they're divorced.
Oh, okay.
They got divorced a year and a half ago.
Oh, that's recent. How do you feel about that?
Great. I remember when I was 5 years old, they told us what divorce was because someone in my class had their parents got divorced. And so I went home and I said, "Are you and dad getting divorced?" And my mom said, "No." And I was like, "You should."
Why do you say that?
They just never got along. Like, I could tell, like, okay, you know how like couples will like fight and like, but it'll be a healthy fight where they're like communicating. My parents never did that. They would just yell and then go into other rooms, and then me and Jack would play Legos.
Why? Shout out to Jack.
Shout out Jack.
Why do you think they were together in the first place? Was it an accident or what happened?
It wasn't an accident. Honestly, I don't know. It's like, okay, there's a lot of things that I know now about my parents that they don't know that I know about because I Googled them.
I'm okay.
I don't think either of them are gonna watch this. But I don't think I could say them on here.
Whatever you're comfortable. One of the things I do is sometimes I'll have people just write things down and we'll go back and forth. And the camera can't see it. Whatever you are comfortable with.
Okay.
And sorry, one more thing. At the end of this, if in retrospect you're like, I don't even want this out, just tell me and it will never go out.
I gotcha.
We got about 5 or 6 episodes that have never been seen for people.
Shit.
Yeah,
I'm so curious.
People have got on here. It's mostly shit talking.
Wait, give me one of the names.
I can't.
That's so unfair.
I know, but here's what I tell people. It's people's business, and my intention here is to make you comfortable to express it. And if you look back and say, never mind, I can respect that. And the way I will protect your privacy is because I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, yeah. No, I trust you. No, I was just joking because I was like, I wonder who it is.
It's, they said some wild shit.
Oh, boy.
But so your parents, you Googled them and then stuff came up.
Yeah. I'll basically, can I just write it on the notepad? Because
we'll get vague about it.
Yeah. Because it's like important to understand why it's like kind of a big deal.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I am definitely going to be following up with relationship questions to you because I do think that, your parents' dynamic affects how you approach relationships.
Yeah. I've been talking about this in therapy a lot.
Oh, good. It definitely has affected mine. I'm working on it. Oh, geez. Yeah.
Okay. My handwriting is like absolutely god awful, but I think.
Interesting.
And I found that out like a year and a half ago because my brother came into my room and told me and then left. And then I had to go to work for 10 hours.
Interesting. That's not as salacious.
It's not bad.
Like it's not bad.
My dad knows that I know. My mom is the one that doesn't know that I know. And I still haven't had this conversation with her. But
interesting.
One day.
Would they feel embarrassed by that or something?
The thing is, I don't know because I've been told, because after I confronted my dad, he told me what happened with, and then, but he was like, even she won't tell me what happened. So
wow.
He doesn't know what happened.
Wow.
She definitely isn't going to tell me. So yeah.
Interesting. Now, bring it back to politics, baby. Is your mom into Trump?
So here's the thing. She was when she was married to my father. And then finally she was like, I hate Trump. And I was like, why? And she like couldn't really give me a reason. So I'm like, I don't know where my mom stands politically, if I'm being so for real. Like, she's never really, we don't get into politics a lot. My dad and I get into politics so much. We argue so much about it.
I'd imagine the Jewish thing would affect.
Yeah, I mean, she was upset about that, for sure.
Okay.
Everything else I don't really, like, she doesn't really share her opinion on, which I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Interesting. Weirdly enough, it seems like you're closer to your dad.
I would say, I'm close with both my parents. Me and my dad, I'd say like personality wise are more similar. We just like have very different political ideologies. But other than that, we're very similar personality wise. And then my mom is like, we're like kind of similar. She's more similar to my brother though, I'd say.
Your brothers, I'm gonna picture this. Your dad is brash, opinionated, and will express it.
Yes.
Your brother and mom are quiet.
Oh no, they're both still very brash and opinionated.
Oh, they just okay.
In a loving way. Like to give you an idea of like what my family is like. Yeah. My family all considers me the type B personality of our family, which means like the chill.
Oh, okay.
Like that vibe, and everyone else thinks I'm not. So like comparatively, we're all very like organized. Like we're all very outgoing, like very much that. But I'd say it's just like in different ways with both, like with different pairs.
And you were saying that you think that their relationship and how what you saw from them has now affected your relationships or how you approach them?
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
Can I hear how?
Yeah. So I talked about this a lot in therapy, but my growing up, I realized I never had a healthy relationship to look up to, because my parents just did not get along, and like a healthy romantic relationship, I should say. And I think that caused me to get into a lot of relationships. Like my first 2 like serious relationships ended like horrifically. And then reflecting on them, it was very much like, okay, I seek out this kind of person. Like why? And then so after, because I got my second like serious relationship ended like right before the end of my junior year of college. So after that, I was like, I'm going to be single and like explore for a year and a half and find, because what my therapist and I came to the conclusion of is it's like, I didn't grow up with this example, but I can find this example. I can look for it in my friends' relationships. I can look for it in shorter relationships, kind of getting the idea of like, what do I like? What do I don't like? And what behaviors of mine can I change? Because I can't change other people's behaviors. All I can change is like, how do I find these people? So I took a year and a half and I just like dated around, like met new people and like almost like did like mini relationships while I was at school. And then a little bit in the summer after, I was just like, okay, which of these things do I like? How can I create this good relationship and find this person that I think will be good? And then at the end of this, after I got ghosted by that one guy, I met Teddy. And he is like very much like, this is the relationship where I'm like, this is the healthiest relationship I've been in. It's the first time I've communicated in a relationship, like felt comfortable doing that. Because he also had just gotten out of a really bad relationship like a year before we met, where she cheated on him. And like his other relationships were also not good. So we both kind of bonded over the fact that we were like, we don't know what a healthy relationship is. Let's figure it out together.
What is it about Teddy that I definitely have to interview him now too? Because I think it's unfair to be one-sided. So I do want to hear Teddy's perspective. And I've never fucking had a conversation with this guy, I don't think.
He's great. I think you guys would get along. You've seen him. You've definitely seen him at Lincoln Lodge a few times.
I've seen him at Lincoln. I saw him last night. He was with you last night. And with your guys' show in the basement.
Oh, on Underground Lounge. Yes.
Yes. I'll bother him later. But what is it about him that clicks, if you can put it into words?
I think it's, so he's the first person that I've dated that I think is willing to put effort in to communicate. And I think we also, like I was saying, we both came from like bad relationships, and we both were like, when we first met each other, we were like so scared because we were like, this person's going to do this. And then we both realized like, oh, we were the other person in the relationship that they were being mean to. Like we were both this person. So now we just figured out, but like, he's very good at communicating. Like if one of us has a problem, we sit down and we say, hey, this happened. Can we talk about it? Then we talk about it. And usually it's a misunderstanding because one of us like did something silly. And then we'll just like forgive each other, learn how to like help with the situation. Something else I think is really helpful is I have OCD, and a lot of people don't realize that OCD can manifest itself in relationships a lot. It makes you very anxious. It makes you like constantly try and like mind read is the way my therapist puts it, but like try and guess what the other person's thinking. And he had never like met someone with OCD. And so he just flat out was like, well, how can I help? Like, how do I help you with this? And like, I think he was the first person that I've ever honestly ever met who flat out was just like, how do I help you? Like, how can I make this easier for you? And what can I do to put these worries at ease? And I think that's another really good thing. And like, I make an active effort to do that for him too, because of his past relationships. We're very open. It really just does come down to like communication.
Yeah. Communication is key.
And that willingness to help each other.
Yes.
Because it is like a team. Like you're a team, especially in comedy. It's like you're a couple, you're going out to mics, you're writing together, you're helping each other get to shows, like that kind of thing. We're now producing like 2 shows together. So it's like that kind of thing.
Do you ever get worried about being too intrinsically connected with each other?
I think I've gotten that before because I remember the first relationship I ever had, we were very like, he was very distant. He didn't like being together all the time, which I was fine with. I was in high school and then college. We were long distance. My second relationship, he would want to be with me all the time and then be like, I don't want you here. He'd be like, come over, leave. Like
Push,
it was
pull.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And so I think I always grew up like I never had an idea of like, well, how do I know what this person wants from me? Like, because so many people have just told me one thing and then done another. So I'll literally just ask him, I'll be like, are you sick of me? And he'll be like, no. And then he'll ask me the same thing and I'll be like, no. So it's like that kind of thing. Like if we needed space, we would communicate that. But so far we have not needed to communicate it.
I'm going to present my opinion now. I am very, very happy and proud of you. I'm not your fucking dad, but you and Sam Rossi now are I'm just amazed at the maturity that you guys are exhibiting at such a young age.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's. You remember early on when I said when I'm talking to you or I'm talking to Sam, I'm picturing myself when I was every therapy at 20, like
I've been in therapy since I was 9 years old.
Good for you. Or everything you're describing about relationships, everything. Here, I'll a little bit about me for some context of why I'm like, wow, good for you.
Are you in a relationship right now?
No,
okay.
I just went through a breakup back in October.
Okay.
A little bit of context about that. The type of relationship I want is a throuple, a closed throuple. So 3 people in one relationship, and we were looking for that, but how do I put it? Okay, I was a fuckboy throughout. Could you tell that you didn't look surprised at all about that? Throughout like my 20s.
Okay.
I to speak to seeing your parents and how they behave. My parents were never together. A second, I've got to write some stuff.
Okay.
So you can either talk or this is going to get quiet. Either way is fine.
Okay. No, I feel like the fuckboy thing, I feel like most people I know are fuckboys in their 20s. And then I was like, I'm going to be a fuckboy for research. Like, that was my year and a half of being single. I was like, I have to fuck around and find out what I need in life. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's good.
Thanks. It's okay if it gets quiet. Fuck them, but that's fine. You guys will be fine.
It's all good. They'll live.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
My dad called me.
Uh-oh. Did he find out? You're around a black person? No, I'm kidding. Okay. Tell me if you can read that. Is everything okay?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just going to say, can I call in 30? I'm recording.
Okay. Do I need to clarify? Which word?
The last sentence.
The last sentence? Oh, okay. God damn it.
I also have insane handwriting, so I completely get it.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm under pressure. Okay. Does that?
Gotcha.
So it's a very sticky situation.
Okay.
And my mom, especially as I've gotten older, I've come to realize she hates men.
Oh.
Fucking hates men and has 3 boys.
Love that.
Yeah. So I was not encouraged to this whole arts thing that you're talking, like the exact opposite. Just you're gonna be a fucking doctor. That's what you're gonna be, or a lawyer. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Well, I can't count high enough. I'm not good at that side of things. And so I was just pushed away, and the arts were I loved the arts, but I was pushed away from it. And so my logic at the time, in retrospect, was if I can't perform for people on stage, I'm going to perform for girls. Because there is is what I like about stand-up is there's an immediate feedback and understanding of, oh, I did something good. And with women, unfortunately, the only way to tell is if you can sleep with them. So it's like, oh, I'm good, right? I'm validated.
That instant validation.
Yeah. Oh, you think I'm attractive? I'm attractive. Cool. And I did that for years. My little loop was get into a long-term relationship way too fast without thinking about it. Stay in it because you think you're supposed to stay in it. Break up horrifically. Fucking sleep around and then run into the same thing and do it over and over and over again. As I got older, I kind of figured out, I was tired of the loop, and I understood that, I hate the word polyamory at this point because it's over. It's similar to calling Trump Hitler. It's hacky. I don't like to associate it with it as much. But 1 second. Goes at an hour at a time.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, this isn't the most fancy. So, Christian, how do you say his last name? Dude from Guatemala. Christian.
Oh, Henningsmeyer.
Say it again.
Henningsmeyer.
Yes, the Latino. That shit is beautiful.
They have that thing set up so well.
It's amazing. I feel like I'm the antithesis to that. It's just janky, but whatever. I feel like you're being interrogated, but anyway. yeah, so went through the breakup, and now I'm single, and my intention is to figure out what I need. I'm doing what you're doing at 30 fucking 3.
And that's okay. Do you know how many 30-something-year-old men I'm trying to convince to get out of an unhealthy relationship right now?
Yeah.
So many of my friends are in their 30s and they're like, I fucking hate my girlfriend, but I have to get married to her because I'm in my 30s. I'm like, don't do that. Yeah. Do not do that. It's so bad.
It is bad. I agree, and I understand why they feel that way. It's like in your 30s. First off, I'll take my 30s over my 20s any day. Fuck my 20s. It was ridiculous. It was just nonsense and mistakes. But in your 30s, there is a slowing down and you're starting to see everyone around the same age have kids and there's this feeling of like, oh, I need to keep up. I don't want to be the weird fucking guy. I don't want to go to the high school reunion and be the fucking weirdo. That being said, I'm not going to fall into that trap. That's fucking stupid. But I am currently in a place where I'm trying to figure out what works for me and why. What I've learned is I need someone who is organized to match my organization, someone who is very caring and giving because I just don't feel cared for, and someone that obviously understands the throuple thing and like that. I've met... I'm trying to see if I want to write this down or not. I've met someone who is... it's so frustrating. This person is checking all of the boxes.
But doesn't want a throuple?
Oh. Does. Is open to that.
Okay.
But, getting into the tea. Okay. Oh, boy. Okay. I'm going to write it down.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to check my phone to make sure my dad...
Okay. Is okay.
Why? My mom just called me too, but my dad said he's going on a plane. Then why did he call me? What?
Okay.
And my group chat is blowing up.
Interesting. Yeah, at the end of this, does that make sense? If it doesn't, that's fine.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, and knew that going in, yada, yada, yada. Getting to know them, and literally the only issue is that part of it. Mm-hmm. And and it's like, well, I can, fuck, it's so frustrating. Mm-hmm. It's like, because she is open to the throuple concept, she likes it, and all of that, every fucking box. And so I'm in the space of like, understanding like if this person exists, if there's billions of other people, there will be another type of this person, but they're clearly hard to find. Yeah. And that's just where I'm at. That's where I'm at in my little relationship journey, but currently single.
That's fair. I know so many people. I have a friend who is poly, and he's having the opposite issue where he'll get into relationships with people who say they're poly and then they aren't actually, and they were just kidding. Yep. And then they get mad. And so I fear that it's tough out there.
People don't communicate well.
They don't. And that is the biggest problem in America in relationships is not communicating.
Sure fucking is. Mm-hmm. Do you... I was gonna say, do you think it'll get better? It won't.
I don't know. I think just more people need to go to therapy. I really think that, and just self-reflect. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, I don't know. I feel like more people need to be comfortable with the fact that, like, maybe my childhood wasn't perfect. That's okay. No one's was. Now you figure out why it wasn't perfect and fix it so your adulthood could be close to perfect.
I'm really looking forward to... I'm going to wrap this up soon. I'm going to have my last question that I always have. But before I say it, I'm very much looking forward to your future.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Seeing... Because I do have people come back on the podcast, so I will have you back if it down the road, and we'll see the changes. I believe, I also have, my brain goes all over the place sometimes, but I don't know. I'm excited for what seems to be a bright future for you based off of what you've expressed so far.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. You ready for that last question?
I'm ready.
Okay. Pretend the camera is you in 5 years.
Oh my God. Okay.
And you can say whatever you want to yourself 5 years from. How old are you? You will be
28.
We'll be creeping up on 30.
I'm excited.
Okay. So, yeah, what would you like to say to yourself 5 years from now?
I would say, hi, first of all. Second of all, I hope you're having fun. I hope you're happy. And I hope whatever you're doing is making you feel fulfilled and you're having a very exciting life.
Very reasonable.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like I always give a generic answer because I feel like whenever someone's like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm like, I don't know. And that's kind of the fun part.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll see. I think it's sometimes when I do these, I don't know. When I interview people for the first time, I don't know them. And now I got a sense of you. And I think when some more life happens and I have you back, I'm excited for it.
I'm excited.
All right, let's take this picture.